The clock has stopped, but the world has moved forward. Today, June 27, 2025, is the day the promise of sovereignty ceased to be talk and became tangible reality. As you listen to this video, billions of dollars in illicit assets are being transformed into funds to rebuild communities and liberate entire economies. If you stick around until the end, you'll understand why nothing, absolutely nothing, will ever be the same again. On the evening of June 26th, something unprecedented happened. The final QFS codes were transmitted at 5:05 a.m. Washington time. The main nodes, Mount Cheyenne, St. Petersburg, and Uluru, confirmed zero interference. In practice, the system has been sealed. The future has been locked. And the global control over your money, which once seemed untouchable, has simply dissolved. Banks, ghosts of the past. Credit lines and abusive interest rates, part of a system that no longer exists. Now every transaction is protected by quantum cryptography, recorded in an inviolable ledger and, most importantly, free from the touch of corrupt institutions. At the heart of this transformation is Operation White Swan, which officially began on June 25th. The quantum financial system, QFS, has seized more than $89 trillion in illicit assets, including stashed away in the Vatican, funds controlled by global organizations and offshore vaults. These funds are now being redirected to sovereign quantum vaults, ensuring the forgiveness of illegitimate debts, the end of the IRS, and the complete closure of the Federal Reserve. The IRS, for example, which for decades has drained resources from the population, will be replaced by a collection system based on fair tariffs, as provided for in the new constitutional framework. The Big Bill. On Thursday, June 26th, Congress voted on the Big and Beautiful Bill, with a narrow approval, 215 votes to 214. Now, the Senate has until July 4th to approve it. And Trump left no room for maneuver. Either they approve it, or he promises to reveal to the public who the real opponents are and the shady interests they represent. If approved, the bill will consolidate. Immediate end to interest on fiduciary credit debts. Abolition of income tax, replaced by constitutional tariffs. Definitive legalization of the Quantum Access Card, QAC, which will allow every citizen to access their account in the QFS, without intermediaries, without banks, without third-party authorizations. With the infrastructure already in place and more than $17 trillion in gold recovered from Asia and Europe, the U.S. financial system is now backed by real assets. This marks the end of the Federal Reserve and the IRS as we knew it. A new sovereign treasury is in place, and all future transactions will pass through a fully secured and auditable circuit. The global scene. Beyond the borders of the United States, the Global Monetary Treaty has already been accepted by 209 countries. Local currencies, historically undervalued, are beginning to find their true market value. The Iraqi dinar, the Vietnamese dong, the Zimbabwean ZIM, currencies that were in hibernation, are now taking center stage. Redemption centers are now operating in 70 countries, with advanced biometric integration for verified citizens. A major banking blackout is expected between June 29th and July 4th, when the old exchange rates will be replaced by a gold-backed standard. On Global Activation Day, July 4th, the American Republic will be introduced on a worldwide broadcast, and the Planetary Jubilee Declaration will be proclaimed. If you've made it this far, you deserve to know. The new era is not just technological or financial. It is human. The control of debt is over. Access to your own resources is back in the hands of the people who always owned it, you. Imagine waking up and finding that all your debts have been eliminated. Your work, your energy, and your time are worth their true value again. Today, you are not just listening to the news. You are living a historic moment. The restored republic is no longer a promise, it is a path forward. So, get up. Get ready. Because you were not made to be a spectator. You were born to be a protagonist in this new chapter.